A winter reunion event for care recipients takes place at the Jing Si Abode. South Africa Tzu Chi volunteer Grandma Abegail's life comes to a happy ending. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lori Chen. Thank you for joining us. A winter reunion event for care recipients took place at the Hoa Jing Si Abode. Staff members from the Charity Mission Department were there to serve the dishes. Volunteers also took care recipients to a nearby market to buy goods ahead of the Lunar New Year.
Mr. Wan has not been able to go out for 3 years because his old age has affected his vision and he cannot see clearly. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers came to his home and are taking him out shopping.
He said he didn't know how to use the charity card we gave him, but he was happy to go out for a walk at the PX Mart and buy things he needs. He's grateful for Tzu Chi's help.
Tzu Chi gives out charity cards to care recipients at the year-end distribution, so the care recipients can use them to buy things they need.
为了体恤照顾户们，可以很简单，然后而且也很方便的可以回家。
Tzu Chi chose to work with the PX Mart this time because we want the care recipients to go home and to buy things they need and are appropriate for their families for the Lunar New Year.
Care recipients pay back by donating coins. The Jing Si Abode invited them for a hot pot feast and taking part in the bamboo coin era.
非常的温馨。
This is very warming. I'm very thankful that Tzu Chi is very caring for underprivileged groups and solitary seniors.
To prepare for this hot pot reunion, the kitchen at the Jing Si Abode is already filled with the fragrance of cooking and the sound of chopping in the early morning. Some volunteers who have just been certified also pitch in and help.
今天刚好又有休假。
I happen to have today off, so I grabbed that chance and came here to learn things from others. I don't want to miss this chance because I don't want to delay doing good deeds.
Tzu Chi Foundation has held 44 winter reunions this year. For the one in the Jing Si Abode, every executive in the charity mission was involved.
全部的我们慈济的金色还有所有的同仁也祝福各位乡亲
The Jing Si Abode and all the staff want to give everyone our best wishes in the year of the pig.
身体健康。
This is a last distribution before the Lunar New Year, so the bags are full of daily goods and also volunteers' best wishes. Volunteers hope the care recipients can start anew from the Lunar New Year.
Upon learning that many local residents want to attend the year-end blessing ceremony, Philippine Tzu Chi volunteers decided to hold the venue at the Ormoc DaAi village. A total of 2,800 attendees showed up for the event.
There are more people than ever participating in the year-end blessing ceremony held by Tzu Chi. 2,800 people were in attendance. Volunteers and Tzu Chis yielded their seats to the DaAi villagers from Ormoc and Kananga.
After since Yolanda, people have changed, not just this way of life, but most especially their outlook in life, and that is to be of help to one another. And I believe that's the greatest change that we need as individuals and as a community. There are no barriers between us, not even religion or political barriers, but it will always be love and compassion.
Many young people have made some changes as they have learned not only to help others, but also practice filial piety to their elders at home. Now the former Ormoc city mayor has many expectations for the educational system in the future.
Many people must feel very happy about the assistance that Dharma Master Zheng Yen has provided for DaAi villages. It's because the aid has drastically improved their lives. Besides, a school will soon be established here with 20 classrooms.
Everyone makes the vow to light up dark corners of the world, just like the way Tzu Chi volunteers provide love wherever needed.
73-year-old Pingdong Tzu Chi volunteer Peng Yunsan came into contact with Tzu Chi due to his younger brother. He was suffering from diabetes for many years, and Tzu Chi volunteers were constantly there to care for the family. After his brother's passing, he vowed to dedicate himself wholeheartedly to doing good deeds.
你困难再来，
Peng Yunshan always uses his experiences to encourage underprivileged people.
I joined Tzu Chi because when my younger brother became sick, we received a lot of help. I didn't know that diabetes would make him lose his leg. From the onset of the illness until the time he died, it was 5 years. Then I wanted to volunteer to pay back to any charity group, but I felt I believed in Tzu Chi.
After his brother died, he went to a Tzu Chi volunteer.
I felt this volunteer was the best I'd taught.
I told them my husband would join Tzu Chi and my colleagues could donate. They said that was fantastic.
His wife also helps him after seeing his devotion, but being 70 years old, Peng Yunshan has physical problems too.
I didn't know what happened to my body, that one cardiac catheter was inserted.
He saw the doctor because he wanted to be healthy to volunteer.
I go to a Pingdong hospital to visit the elderly because I've seen them suffer from illnesses and myself had experienced it too.
He has learned philosophical principles about life from growing apples. He is dedicated to doing Tzu Chi's work.
I want to help Tzu Chi, so I'll do my best to do it.
Now we continue to look back at Tzu Chi's major events that took place in both March and April 2018.
In March, Tzu Chi recycling volunteer leaders from around the world gathered in Taiwan to exchange their experiences. All around the world, over 100,000 Tzu Chi recycling volunteers collect and sort recyclables every day. In Fujian, China, the residents of a village especially set up a recycling station to promote recycling. In April, Mount Kilauea volcano in Hawaii erupted. Soon afterwards, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers set out to bring care and give out cash cards to those affected.
I just wanted to express to everybody.
In fact, the U.S. volunteers' areas of support cover the entire Americas. For example, after Puerto Rico was struck by Hurricane Maria in 2017, the volunteers held a 5-day distribution to give out aid to those affected.
Wonderful program, and I appreciate a lot.
In Ecuador, be it the earthquake in 2016 or the flooding in 2017, the U.S. volunteers were there to help, inspiring many locals to become Tzu Chi volunteers.
Cuando creíamos que lo habíamos perdido todo, pero ellos nos dieron como un aliento para poder seguir adelante.
Y luego retornar esos recursos en algún tipo de ayuda para alguien que lo pueda necesitar.
De qué raza, de qué color, de qué lengua y de qué religión, porque todos somos una familia.
In Guatemala, after the Fuego volcano erupted, Tzu Chi volunteers reached out to help.
Feliz, contenta y agradecida, y que Dios me los bendiga.
Una visita que se va a pasar mímica ahí, va a ser para que vengan. ¿Okay? Estamos muy agradecidos con ustedes, que Dios me los bendiga.
Gracias. Gracias.
In April, Tzu Chi volunteers in Mozambique gave out vouchers to those affected by a rubbish dump collapse back in February. On their way to a shelter to provide care, the volunteers' truck broke down, but they moved on by foot. Apart from material aid, the volunteers also provided emotional support. In 2018, Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa set foot in Malawi for the very first time to bring care to those in need.
Taiwan is something like 15,000 kilometers. That's a very long distance just to come here to extend your love.
The locals were very grateful.
Tinamva bwino kwambiri. Tinasangalala kwa basi. Chifukwa cha kubwera iwo. Apakali pano pa kwaona iwo, apakali pano pa ife tinosangalala.
With this Tzu Chi, I hope we'll do more and we'll be able to reach as many as people as we can.
Malawi became the 97th country in the world that Tzu Chi has brought aid to.
As a Tzu Chi member, I'm volunteering myself to go at Jingombe and help people there.
In Zimbabwe, where water resources are scarce, Tzu Chi volunteers help to repair broken wells in several communities. Since 2012, Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa and Lesotho have been visiting Botswana regularly to bring care to the needy.
Tzu Chi can change everything.
The volunteers also go to Eswatini to train local volunteers and help the poor and the ill.
In South Africa, there was a senior Tzu Chi volunteer whom everyone knew by the name of Grandma Abegail. She had been suffering from diabetes for many years, but she never once complained about her illness. She had made a vow to do Tzu Chi's work all the way until her last breath, and she did indeed fulfill her promise. Her lifetime dedication to those who are suffering has made her the role model for many volunteers to follow. Let's take a look back at her life journey.
We're rushing. You're trying to rush the time, then you fall.
Yes,
okay.
yes, I'm trying to run.
Okay, my sister.
Yeah. But it's no problem.
No problem.
Because it's from my heart.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Grandma Abigail always wore a smile on her face despite suffering from diabetes. Due to her illness, she had to put in a lot of effort whenever conducting home visits. However, she never once complained about being tired, even when she had to carry large amounts of medications with her.
Foundation. It's a love foundation. She had that foundation help anyone. She don't say, I don't like that, I don't like that, I love that. I got to give that no for everyone.
Under her guidance, many young people had joined Tzu Chi. However, starting from the second half of last year, her illness had gradually worsened. Despite this, she still sees every opportunity to do good deeds. She once said that she would do good deeds until her very last breath. She really kept to her words.
of dedicated young doctors in Malaysia that regularly conducts medical home visits for the local underprivileged population. Among them, there's a 30-year-old young doctor whose mindset was completely changed when he heard Dharma Master Cheng Yen's teachings.
Dr. Khoi Teng Quang looks like a student, but is actually a doctor. Not 30 years old, he is as energetic as young people, but not as impatient.
Although he is young, but he is not impetuous. He can face patients' questions calmly and give them answers.
The doctor used to be very interested in doing business, but Dharma Master Cheng Yen's words made him change his mind.
The Master told us that when choosing our goal, we should pick the ones that can help people. Since it's about helping others, I chose medicine, so I can give those in need the most practical assistance.
I can see his patient in the medical profession. He can patiently and attentively interact with patients to find their major problems. It touched me deeply.
As long as the patients need him, he is willing to go to their homes to treat them. What motivates him is his compassion and understanding towards them.
My understanding comes from putting myself in patients' shoes. Then I can often notice what their needs are, and I can think of ways to make suggestions that can match their needs.
It's precious that a young doctor like him is willing to walk out of the ivory tower and do the right things to safeguard the health of the impoverished.
A drop of water may be the fountain of life. However, quenching our thirst may become more difficult in an environment where water resources are becoming more and more limited. With climate change, the seasons have become less obvious around the world. Today, we begin a series on the conditions of water resources worldwide, showing how water shortage is impacting various communities. Let's take a look at our in-depth report.
We've never seen it this bad before. It's very depressing to go out to a paddock and find that there's yet another cow who's died.
This whole area of New South Wales province sees some 99% of the land affected by serious drought. The rain is quite heavy, which has a negative impact on our livelihoods. The drainage system is broken, and sewage constantly drains.
I'm 80 years old, and I have never before experienced this horror.
Extreme climate used to come once every 30 years. And then it was 10 years, and now once every 5 years.
Suddenly cold and then hot, with drought and flooding, as our Earth pushed beyond its limit, requiring emergency care.
I am calling on everyone to face up to the fact that extreme climate is upon us. It may not only cause flooding, but also drought.
Many are afraid of the fact that extreme weather and climate change is not something related to the future, but is already upon us.
Current forecasting trends show that there will be less and less snow in the mountains.
Japan's climate experts are worried that Japan, which has always lacked water, will continue to face challenges. However, a water shortage isn't something that may affect the future, as it's a fact that rainfall patterns have changed.
Taking heavy rain in Hiroshima this year as an example, this heavy rain is an abnormal phenomenon which should occur just once every 30 years.
Torrential rains, or what are called gorilla rain, is a term applying hourly rainfall accumulation in excess of 100 millimeters. The Japan Weather Association predicts that by 2090, the number of such rainstorms in Japan will be twice as many as there is now. It seems that there will be a lot of heavy rain, but experts warn that this is not a good thing. because it will become extreme, which means there will be a lot of rain in a short time. But it will be hard to catch this water for future use. As the other end of the spectrum, there will be more drought. This end-of-the-world type condition will take place around the world, with many international experts and scholars stepping forward.
The highly anticipated IWA World Congress is being held at a Tokyo conference hall behind me. There are more than 5,000 individuals representing 100 countries in attendance. They are all gathered here to discuss future water resources and the fact that they are becoming scarcer.
The large globe in the center of the exhibition hall symbolizes that the Earth is a planet covered in water. The International Water Association, or IWA for short, was founded in 1999 and is a non-profit organization. Members are water experts and scholars from 80 countries. The IWA World Congress is held every 2 years, and this year it was held in Tokyo. Japan has always been a country that prides itself on disaster prevention and eagerly looked forward to hosting this international event. Even the Crown Prince Naruhito and his wife attended the event. Experts gathered together to find a solution to limited water resources. Beyond the academic conference, what was even more striking is that the site also displayed a variety of high-tech that attracted the attention of visitors. With limited water, many are putting their faith in technology to solve the problem.
With extreme weather creating all kinds of natural disasters, clean water will get harder and harder to obtain. Japan believes that flexibility will be more important as they are giving up a large-scale water purification, installing small water purifiers in each home.
This mobile water purifier is like a small water purification plant. Will come in handy in high turbidity areas such as rivers after an earthquake.
Investing in a general water purification plant requires 500 to 600 million Japanese yens in costs, and the cost of using this is less than 100 million yens.
Humans may have to look for water everywhere, with no magical power to stop extreme climate from approaching. This is a worrying future, as many are wondering if technology can really keep up with the pace of climate change. Will Africa's long queues for water take place in other countries? Will this become the norm? This future may not be so far away from us, as severe drought and torrential rains may even lead to water wars breaking out between different countries.
The Lunar New Year is just around the corner. Therefore,北投 Hao Tzu Chi volunteers took to the streets to hand out Jing Si aphorisms spring couplets, hoping to add some festive vibes for everyone before the Lunar New Year arrives. Let's check out these amazing spring couplets. Thank you for watching. See you next time.